Hello there, international movie friends. We are back with a review, and this is a review for the documentary Billie.
The world's greatest jazz vocalist, Miss Billie Holiday.
Hey there, baby, make up your mind, 'cause I've been waiting such a long, long time.
Sven, we watched this documentary, Billie, about the life, of course, of Billie Holiday. This is a topic you selected. You were very interested in this one. Why particularly were you so much interested in this documentary?
Well, because there's coming also a movie, a biopic in late February being scheduled. Well, we hope everything is going on like this. I do think it's really interesting to have the opportunity to watch a documentary, especially like this one, before releasing a biopic, which already introduces a bit the topic of the biopic. The biopic is being called The United States versus Billie Holiday. And we're going to later talk about that in a different video. The documentary is about the audio archive of the investigative journalist Linda Lipnack-Kuhl.
Must be a pretty interesting story. She's had a wild life.
And she was investigating tremendous amount of people about the life and death of Billie Holiday. Yeah. And they got exclusive to this archive, and there they made this documentary about.
200 hours of interviews, I understood, very, very, very much. We're going to discuss this documentary. I also watched it last night, actually. So we're going to discuss what we think about this documentary, what we liked a bit less. Like you said, we also will make a video later on about what we know so far about this movie, The United States versus Billie Holiday. And we'll keep a close eye on that for the people watching, of course, if you want to stay updated on all those kind of things and many more. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you appreciate our efforts on this channel, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. That makes us happy.
Exactly.
So yeah, exactly. So yeah, let's dive into this documentary right away. Sven, 200 hours of interviews, I already said, from this journalist. Who also had, in the end, they both have a bit of a tragic and faith waiting for them. What was when did you watch this documentary? Also this weekend?
Yeah, last weekend, Friday night. I couldn't wait actually to watch it. I was, I'm a journalist myself, and I was really captivated by this combination of figures. The icon Billie Holiday, which I also like as a jazz singer. I listen to her music, and then the journalist who, well, you never heard her name before actually, right. But yeah, she had a phenomenal work she did. But I don't know what really happened with it. But this documentary 50 years later or even more clears up and use this content to make a beautiful documentary about it.
Yeah, as you know, I'm not that much into documentaries. I'm also not that educated when it comes to watching documentaries. So for me, it was like, okay, do I feel like this? Well, we have this channel. I promised you that I would watch it, so I did watch it in the end. And I have to say, I was not. Yes, and I was not disappointed. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, because that was what was it? Had to do to the storyline with the journalist and the singer, that they tried to combine it a bit.
Exactly, that was for me a very important point. Like you said, that's something I didn't know up front, that it would be told in this way, and that is something I found very interesting. The storytelling, the way they told the story, it was not just Billie Holiday, your typical the tragic life of a famous star story. That's why I'm not so much into biographies and those kind of things. I feel like, yeah, okay, but the way they told this story made it more interesting for me. That is two storylines intertwined, and maybe we can touch on it a bit later. Also, they could have expanded on that even a bit more, for my feeling.
Yeah, but I think they lacked a bit on information because I also did like a lot the intention to come with this. Actually, they wanted to make a bit a linear cut. The life story of Billie Holiday through the interviews of the journalist.
Yeah.
And the life story of the journalist during that investigative work about Billie Holiday until her death, which has been quite mysterious too.
Yeah,
yeah, so that made it extra exciting, and but also a bit unsatisfying maybe at the end, because they lacked information to really go deeper on her death. She was the authorities said that she committed suicide by jumping out of a window, but her family, her sister, was being interviewed as a really close relative of her, and she really doubts that this was really the case, and because she was a writer, a journalist, and there was not found, for example, a goodbye letter or
no
something.
And she had her face mask on, so there were some signs that it might be. But one way to solve this maybe is at least have maybe one or two extra sources connected to the journalist. Now, it was, of course, like you said, only the sister. Maybe if they would have added one or two more sources around her, that would have at least maybe still wouldn't give the satisfying answers, but it would have made it a bit more complete. But that's a little thing I have here. Yeah. In general, I really liked the story of Billie Holiday. Like I said, I'm not a documentary watcher that much, and I didn't know, well, basically anything about Billie Holiday apart from that it's a jazz artist. And now I know a whole lot about Billie Holiday, and like you said, I'm very much for movies, and I do like biopic movies from time to time. So I am happy now that I got this background information.
She was an extremist.
What's made her the way she is?
Everybody wanted something out of her. No vocalist that ever went through what she went through.
Strange Fruit.
It was a shocking piece of material.
They used to have riots when she sang that in New York. Exposing discrimination. She put it on stage.
She just told her own story, just by being herself.
She would make music that was unprecedented.
All she wanted to do was sing.
Which I also did like about this documentary is that they really could, excavating lost voices of this time. So, for example, they interviewed this pimp from her.
Interesting.
To already start with, because she grew up in a poor neighborhood in Baltimore, and she was, well, I don't know what the circumstances really are, but it was suggested that she did some escort work, selling her body, and this pimp was found by the journalist and being interviewed about that time, and he was actually a bit doing funny about it, and quite kickingly and claiming that Billie and all the other women were actually liking what they were doing, which I could
really,
But that she found such a person in her investigation, I found that really speaking for her. And what I also really liked was the more provocative interview with the drummer Joe Jones, who challenged the journalist, who was a white American, of not really understanding the situation of Billie Holiday, that she was not able or not allowed to go to a toilet or using the bathroom when she was playing at a hotel for a white crowd, for example. That was, you felt really, the journalist was really a good interviewer herself, because she always, when you had like an answer of this, whoa, this is interesting, she would go on, or this answer is hard to believe, and then she went on. So it always they chose also the right parts, I think, of these interviews.
Showed also her personality. I
think also some I knew something about Billie Holiday, but for me it was also teaching me again a lot. For example, the period of Strange Fruit. Okay, we know that the civil rights movement was not started yet in the 30s. So this song being sung in 1939, it was actually really, I would say, pioneering for especially for a woman, I think, in that time, that she was claiming against lynching black people in that time. And I think that was quite, again, a wake-up call, how actually really special that was.
Definitely.
Here is a strange and bitter cry.
I did have to get used when you were talking about, of course, it's all audio tapes, and I realized that later on, but I did have to get used in the beginning to this style of only hearing the voices, so to say, and not seeing the faces. I like to see, of course, you don't want to look all the time to talking faces, but you want to see some kind of emotion in the faces. And especially in the first half hour, I think I had a bit of trouble with that. As it progressed and I got used to this style, I got more used to it. But in the beginning, I had to get a bit used to this style.
Yeah, I think so too. It's more like a podcast with images.
Exactly.
But now we are maybe a bit too negative about it. But what they really did good, because of course they didn't have the moving images, otherwise they would have used them. And if you do it then like this, I think they did it really good in choosing also really atmospheric shots about cities and with Harlem and archive footage of Baltimore, of this poor neighborhood where she was living, where you saw the people living on the streets. And in Harlem, the poor area of Harlem used to be in New York City, where she was also starting her career. I think they did almost everything to create as much as possible images. But in the end, you do miss, I think, coming Billie Holiday alive for yourself. Because there were maybe 3 scenes where she was really singing live on stage, but for the rest we haven't seen her moving.
I did like, by the way, that they also edited the footage of the journalist. That added really for me, that I got the feeling that I also knew who this journalist a bit was. This woman, you saw her at these parties, and it really gives you a feeling of her personality also, without being too much sources about her.
Yeah, you saw this family table where they were eating and dining, and she was playing in the garden. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah.
And also, a really good decision because, as you say, it gives a feeling with the character who's actually really important to the story. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very confident, smiling, and it really gave me the feeling like, okay, I get what kind of personality this woman is, and that really added to why I also wanted to know how her story went. Also, maybe because I, of course, already knew, though I didn't know much about Billie Holiday, I knew it was a tragic story. So I knew that there wouldn't be a happy end here. And I liked how they really set the tone right away with opening, like there's a journalist in 1970, I don't know, there's a journalist found dead on the street. That's a weird start for a Billie Holiday documentary. That really right away you hook with which they get you in, and that's good.
And what I also like, I know how you were thinking of it because I was watching it with my wife, and she had some doubts about it. The colorized pictures and black and white images.
In what way? What my thoughts were about that?
If you like it that they did it, because she said, well, it's taking away a bit of the romantic feeling you have with old pictures, and you can see the grain, the dots on the images.
You mean, for example, the images when she was singing, those kind of images?
Yeah.
I do get what your wife means. Maybe they could have balanced it more out, but in the other way, I also liked it that it made it somehow less distant. That's like you got this documentary, I think it's of Peter Jackson, who had World War II footage of soldiers colored. And then it becomes from something that's far in the past and so far away. Those soldiers suddenly become more real people instead of just something from a faraway history. And that's the same case here, I think. But there's something to argue for both sides, I think.
Yeah. I did like it because you could see really details about lipstick and jewelry and dresses, and you could see also that she had, she embraced her actually high life standards, and also showing off a bit. I found it a good part of this documentary. They showed her in color. So we come to a conclusion, boss, or not?
Let's rank it.
Let's rank it. Yeah.
I have to say, like I said, I'm not super familiar with documentaries. I'm not a documentary watcher. There's so many movies to watch, so I mostly choose a movie if I can. But I have to say, well, that's also the good thing about this channel, that we teach each other genres and things that you maybe otherwise wouldn't pick. And I enjoyed watching this documentary and knowing more about this woman's life. I really liked the storytelling, as said, the way they presented it. So that makes, for me, as a non-connoisseur of documentaries, that I give it 4 stars.
Wow. Yeah, I think I go also for 4 stars because as a documentary lover, I found it really impressive how they came to this selection of everything they could choose out. 200 hours of audio footage. I heard the director made the cut of, well, he was only using material of people who witnessed something and that they could talk about that. I found it a really disciplined decision, which is really important, I think, for a movie. In the end, what a documentary is as well. And well, they tried everything to visualize this audio they had, and it was. I found the twist they used with the journalist and her life story, although it was a bit unsatisfying at the end, but for logical reasons, really good found. So 4 stars from me as well.
Great. Well, that then concludes our review for the documentary Billie. February, it's supposed to be the release of this movie, the United States versus Billie Holiday. Very interesting. We will make a What Do We Know So Far video about that one as well. So for the people watching, if you want to stay updated also on that movie, subscribe to our channel and also other stuff that we dig into, of course. And if you like the review, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. That's appreciated by us. And let us know what you thought about this documentary in the comments. Some things that you took out of it, some things you learned, or some things that you maybe were missing if you already knew a lot about her life. Discuss with us in the comments. We always like to do that. Then this concludes this review for the documentary, and I would say see you next time.
Bye-bye.